Amar, it's really nice to have you on today, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I want to ask you a few questions about your experience about web accessibility, about your company, and of course, your experience with us, accessiBe. But before we get in, do you mind telling me a little bit more about yourself and your company, MD?
Sure. So I have been doing web development since I'll say 1996, 1997. I have a lot of experience doing web development. One of my last jobs before I started MD was working as a software architect for a project for NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology. And I was introduced to web accessibility way back in 2008 when I worked again as a software architect for a project for HUD, Housing and Urban Development Department. So since then, and then when I started MD in 2009, one of our first clients was an institution or an organization that provided information for kids and youth that dealt with disability. So one of their requirements was that their site has to be accessible, since they were providing information for kids with disability. And then over a period of time, not only that I understood what accessibility meant, but also how important it is. And from a personal experience, when I had a tennis elbow and couldn't use a mouse, I realized that making a website accessible is just extremely important, because I couldn't use my own website and I couldn't use a mouse with my tennis elbow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's exactly hitting it right on the nose. And it seems to be that people who discover web accessibility and not coming from that world, right? It seems like a Pandora's box, and the plot thickens as you go into it, and you understand the seriousness of the situation and how much responsibility that us individually have to really spread the words of the importance of it and what we need to do to find a solution for it, right?
Sure.
Everybody deserves, equal access, and I won't take that from you. And you kind of answered my question: is why is it important for you to make your clients websites accessible in short? But did you want to maybe elaborate on that a little bit more?
Sure. So as I mentioned, we work with a lot of nonprofits. One of our biggest client base is nonprofits who work in education space. So a lot of them are government funded. So from one aspect, of course, they have to be 508 compliant. Their website has to be accessible. But also coming from the nonprofit sector, they understand the importance of doing the right thing. And a lot of times, even though they may not have the budget, they have this desire to actually make their website as accessible as possible. The other thing, and this is something that we have started doing since 2010, is that every website that we make, if we are making a brand new website or if we are redesigning a website, we include accessibility as a must. So you cannot make us create a website which is not accessible.
Nice.
So we have been doing that again as part of giving back and understanding that it's an extremely important aspect of making a website. And like you said, as an individual, as an organization, as somebody who has been doing software development for more than 20 years, I take it as my personal responsibility that when we launch a website or when we publish a website, it is as accessible as possible.
Yeah, it's a very noble cause, and we're very happy to be partnered with you guys. And we don't take it for granted either. I'm sure that you and your vast experience in the web accessibility work, of course, developing this into your offering, of course, and now something that's a de facto kind of standard of onboarding new customers is with web accessibility in mind, that you take it very seriously, and you've been very, let's say, diligent about who you choose to partner with. So from the rest of the other, the other alternatives that you've maybe looked into, why did you choose to go with us in the end?
So one of the biggest testimonial, or something that once I started looking at accessiBe, and I installed it on our website, and I was playing around with it. I was kind of checking it out, what are the features and so on and so forth. So while I was doing that, one of our clients, and we had just a meeting, and I casually just told her that, hey, this is a new plugin that I've been playing with. Would you like to see a demo of it?
Mhm.
She happens to be an executive director at one of the education related nonprofit, and I showed her the capabilities of accessiBe. And she was so impressed. She started telling me that, oh, and she actually has a sibling, as well as some other people in her family who have disabilities. And so
Mm.
she kind of telling me, oh my god, this feature, oh my, this person will be so happy to find this, because that person is always struggling on their blah blah blah.
That is awesome.
And it kind of hit at, so something that I was trying to play around with, but to get a direct code. And she said, do you mind if I show this to my family members and let them see how this can work on the website? And I said, sure. So a day later, she sends me an email saying that, okay, how much and how can I get this on my website? I want this right
Awesome.
now.
Awesome.
So, I've been trying to find an easy solution, which is easy for us to install, as well as easy for my clients to maintain, and that has all the bells and whistles, or I shouldn't say bells and whistles, but all the features that somebody who has a disability, and there are varied number of disabilities, but
Hmm.
if we can cover as many as possible, uh, if I can find a solution like that, I would love to ask my clients, and I can tell them that, hey, this works, and they should try it. But when I get a testimonial from somebody who is dealing with a situation like this day in and day out, who loves it, since then, she has actually told a lot of her peers and her colleagues to install
Hmm.
it on their website. So we have ended
That's
up
wonderful.
installing it on 5 other clients. So it's not even I'm doing the marketing, but it's coming from
Yeah.
somebody who understands.
Yeah.
And there are features that I really, really would have, loved to just do it on my own. But one of the things that I love the most is the ability to stop all the animations. That may
Hmm.
not seem like a big deal, but somebody uh, who deals with somebody who has ADHD, or somebody who doesn't like animation because that takes so much of their attention, uh, getting there and just clicking on one button, that will stop animation on your
Yeah.
entire site. Lovely feature. So there are some
That's wonderful.
features which I couldn't find that easily in other solutions. And the other big thing from our perspective is that it's extremely easy for us to install and get our clients started.
Hmm. That's wonderful. That's such a nice story to hear. By the way, that was the best story, um, and it seems to be that accessiBe. You didn't actually find accessiBe. accessiBe ended up finding you at the end. Well, you found us, of course, but it found a place with you and kind of hit home run, especially when you started hearing from people that have disabilities and on the front lines with these technologies and have been diligently looking for these type over the years, and to find something that really fits like that, it makes my job very easy, and it's very nice to hear. So we wish to continue this with you guys. AMD is such a serious company that obviously breeds an inclusive culture, not only does the work um, you know to achieve what people want when designing their websites, but beyond that. So we're very proud to be, partner with you guys, and thank you very much for joining me today.
Sure, and I have
Thank you, Amar.
been doing a lot of stuff related to accessibility. I have done a lot of presentations. I have actually taught accessibility in the past, but getting a solution that is easy for people to understand and get to is an awesome. So I'm actually really thankful to accessibility for providing a solution that my clients are super happy with, because when they are happy, of course, they themselves go out and tell
Hmm.
other people, and maybe that will, so to say, make world a better place.
Amen. Amen. We love you, Amar. We love
Thank
you,
you.
man. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you so
Sure.
much, man.